Yahoo!
So Luke, force projecting himself into another star system, was always going to kill him. And as soon as I realized that's what he was doing, I was like, oh fuck, Luke's dying. Because that's how that works. Also, force bridges are a thing that was established in the external universe that's now legends. That Rian Johnson, given the ability to look at all these things and now say, oh, I can grab some things that have some weight, is able to pull those in. So the force is this thing that
so these are all in the books.
If I may.
God damn it.
The only rule that has ever been established in these movies vis-a-vis what is possible vis-a-vis the Force is that it can do literally anything the plot needs it to. Every single movie has added something new to it. Okay? Because in Star Wars 1, it literally is just
1 or 4?
It's okay, sorry. Chronologically, Star Wars 1, 1977, A New Hope.
I get so fucking lost.
I understand. Okay, A New Hope. A New Hope. Death Star exploding. The only thing the Force does in that movie is Darth Vader chokes one dude, and it also kind of makes you... It just gives you a little tickle in the back. It's like a spider sense. Right. That's all it is in the first
That's
one.
what I was like,
that is literally the extent of its definition. And then... Next movie, Empire Strikes Back. Darth Vader chokes a dude through Skype. He chokes a guy who's on the other end of a computer screen who knows where. And he can choke you through Skype. So it apparently is not distance-based, right? And that's also the movie. We add ghosts. Now Force ghosts. Okay, so we add that in there. And also it makes you and somewhere in these two movies, it's it also makes you good at shooting if you want it to. Then in the next movie, it had lightning is added. Right now, they can do lightning with it. And the thing about the Force lightning that video games have ruined is that Force lightning is not you put enough dark side points into yourself and now you do lightning. Force lightning only exists because that guy is trying to torture Luke in front of his dad, right? That is the only reason why it's lightning. It could have been fucking acid bubbles. It could have been chains. It could have been anything. But he chose lightning because it was dramatically appropriate. Not because when you level up to level 6, you get lightning. It's literally, it's the Force always does what the plot needs it to do. And then by the time you get to the prequels, it makes you can run super fast, you can jump super high, because there's been all these books and comics and video games where the Force turns you into Superman, and I
guess they retcon that out by being see, this is when the Jedi tradition was still alive and well, so the people were highly trained in the Jedi arts.
So they're in the height, they know how to use it. It's not a farm boy who got 2 days of training and then kicked out the door.
Well, yeah,
it's people who
if you take the movies for what they even qualify the Force is. In episode 4, the first one that comes out, they describe Darth Vader as a fucking wizard. And the reason why he choked somebody out at a meeting is because dude's who the fuck is this guy? He's wearing armor and carrying a sword, and we've got guns in a space station. And then he chokes him, and they go, oh fuck, what?
Your slavery to that ancient religion is blah, 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 right? And then he's like, all right, I mean business. I'm going to choke you. Not because, again, Force choke is something you put on your character sheet. It's because, I need to make my point, so I'm going to crush this fool's larynx just,
the
real
Joker
quick.
Coming in and just smashing the dude's head on the eraser of a pencil.
Right. Joker did not put 2 points in pencil combat and then he slams the dude. It's because the language of the movie at that point needs Darth Vader to choke a motherfucker. Needs also Joker to slam you onto a pencil. Needs Thor's lightning to make a robot go. It's because it's all made up magic. And the plot needs Thor's lightning to make Ultron go like a Frankenstein. And okay, that's how it works.
And I buy it.
Okay.
And I buy it. Honestly,
Sure.
for me, that's why I'm like, I've been watching The Mandalorian. I actually truly enjoy The Mandalorian. I feel like I can watch it without fully it's nice to know other things from the Star Wars universe, but I don't feel like it's integral in my understanding of what the hell's going on. I think just the idea of like what a lightsaber is and the way that they function and the way that the lasers work and just the mechanics all feel consistent to me, even if they don't feel consistent from the movies, which is like, that's all I care about. And I remember I was like, oh, maybe I should go back and watch these movies, and I'm flipping through Disney Plus and I went, nah, I'm good, actually. I'll just vibe with Mandalorian. And like, it's been so much fun. Like the way that they're just like developed. I don't know. I'm having a fun with it.
Mandalorian's about to do some shit to us though, because it's getting into shit. If you think the Force is confusing, it's getting into shit that's gonna make your head spin. Because like, I'm not unconvinced that the reason why they're is everybody caught up on Mandalorian? So I don't.
Are you caught up on Kevin? I'm caught up. I think
I haven't seen it.
Okay, so for nobody, for people that are listening, if you don't want Mandalorian spoilers, skip ahead like a minute.
I'll put a time. I'll put a time.
So the last couple episodes, Jace, you're caught up. So
I am
like they
brought in some old Star Wars guys.
Yeah, they brought in some old Star Wars guys, and it was fucking incredible. Seeing Tamura Morrison and his strong Maori self beat the shit out of people with a staff, very good. But
you're talking about
Boba.
Jango Fett or Boba Fett.
Boba Fett. Kevin,
Boba
just keep
Fett.
your mouth shut for this period.
I'm used to him being Jango Fett from the movie, from the before times, from the old.
And he says a line that his dad said, which was emotional and very good.
That's cute.
See, as someone that didn't have a connection to Jango Fett or Boba Fett, I was like, I vaguely know who this character is, and that's all I need to know to be like, oh, this is a fun intertextual reference. But it didn't
Star Wars fans are gonna kill me.
Imagine that you're a super nerd that's been waiting 40 years for Boba Fett to do something cool, right? And then he shows up and does.
Right.
Anyway, two episodes ago, they go to an Empire facility, and there are people in giant vats of big Bacta tanks that are like deformed as fuck. And then they listen to a transmission that says they're looking for donors with a high M count, which is Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni doing their best to make the best out of a shit situation, which was George Lucas influencing the Force by making it based in science, which is fucking dumb. Don't need that. Snoke from the new trilogy, I'm guaranteeing this. They make Snoke out of blood from a Force-sensitive being. That's why he's deformed. That's why he's awkwardly powerful. That's why there's like several versions of him, because they fucked up. And they kept trying and kept trying and kept trying, and then they got him. And he's incredibly powerful, and he has no history because he was fucking made in a test tube. But for all of this to matter, Snoke is the guy, the big bad guy that Kylo kills in the Red Room in Episode 8. It just makes sense. It just makes sense. There's no reason to introduce a storyline where the Empire is experimenting with creating Force users, because there are none that they have on their side, by kidnapping Force users on the other side and then taking their blood and putting it into people and seeing if something fucking happens. And like, there's even hints, Ludwig Göransson even works in Snoke's theme into that scene when they're looking into the test tubes. So like, come on. Sure. It's gotta be a
test tubes?
When they're in that facility with
in Mandalorian?
In Mandalorian, yeah. And they see those people in those giant water tanks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're like this is the Nazi dark magic division.
Right, which I am really stoked for them to see. I mean, not stoked to see it, but it is really exciting in a certain sense to be able to be like, oh,
Snoked to see it.
What?
Kevin, he was making a pun. I said stoked. Said snoked.
Snoked to see it.
Yeah.
You were snoked.
Are you proud of yourself? And think about your answer.
You just told a dad joke and got a dad to make a you need to go to your room right now response. Essentially what I'm saying is it's very fascinating to see that they're actually extending the Nazi metaphor into literal human experimentation in a way that we haven't seen before, at least that I'm aware of, but that's because I don't really give a shit.
Yeah, the funny thing is almost nothing happens in Mandalorian that hasn't been somewhere else. And like, the reason why Dave Filoni is a big portion of this show is because Dave Filoni is the reason why Clone Wars, the animated show, exists. He's the reason why Rebels exists. And the reason that there's a Darksaber, the reason we're talking to Bo-Katan and the Death Watch of Mandalorians, those people in all blue that took their helmets off and were like, "You're fucking weird for not taking your helmet off." They're all Ahsoka Tano, all characters from Clone Wars and Rebels. So, like, this show isn't making.
Should I watch Clone Wars and Rebels?
You should watch both of those. They're both extremely good. But like
12 seasons of Star Wars cartoons.
here's the thing: you can find a list of episodes that you can go by that are like the most essential or the most entertaining or like the most.
I can't do that. I would be like, I'm missing.
Yeah, you're my friends that love One Piece, and they're like, okay, you watch episodes 1 through 5, and then you skip these, and I'm like, I'm never going to.
No, don't do that. If it's like that would be like me, who both of you have not seen Steven Universe, and I'm still very upset, but it's fine. We will work through this together. Season 1's 52 fucking episodes. Do you need every single episode to understand the main plot? No. Should you watch every episode? Fuck yes. You should watch every single goddamn episode of that gorgeous show.
Should you watch episodes of TV that are not quote unquote important? Yes. Yes. They add texture. They add character. They endear you to the. If you. Sorry.
Like Steven Universe, like also did this really cool stuff with like integrating elements of these characters later on, like really massive like plot developments, like the kind of plot twists that happen in Steven Universe were like unheard of for a children's cartoon. And I literally you need to watch the show. But it's one of those things where you go back and you literally I have rewatched. I've seen every single episode at least 2 times, right? This is just like the fact of it. And there's a lot of episodes. And I'm currently adventuring into a 3rd watch through with my roommate. You go back and you watch episode 1 and you're like, that's an Easter egg that you don't find out for another 2 seasons. That's an Easter egg that you don't find out for another 2 seasons. That's an Easter egg. But they don't seem like Easter eggs. And it's just like really subtle things. And it's like, oh, that's foreshadowing. That you understand why people do certain things that they do and how they do them. And then there's lines that make more sense, and like when they went to the last episode of Steven Universe, not getting into Steven Universe future, that whole conclusion was pitched to them when they pitched the show. The entire main arc was the original pitch, so every single little thing they did was super intentional. There is a little song Steven sings in episode 1, right? That's this fun, goofy song that when you go back after having watched it, you're like, wait, holy shit, this whole song? I don't want to say anything because it'll ruin it because it's one of those like really deep, fundamentally awesome. And it's like you watch it one time, you go back and you're like, oh, that's fun. That's like a reference to this. And then you go back again and you're like, oh, wait, of course he's making a reference to this because it's actually this. Oh, my God. I sound like I'm absolutely insane because I'm not saying any spoilers whatsoever right now because neither of you have seen my favorite show on the planet. It's so good. It's so good.
And I'm over here like biting my tongue because none of you guys care about Star Wars.
I like Mandalorian.
I've gotten this close to seeing Mandalorian, and then you told me, no, actually, they're touching on a bunch of obscure Star Wars lore, and I'm like, I guess that's it between me and the Mandalorian.
No, that's not the point.
As someone that doesn't even know any of this background stuff, it doesn't matter to me.
It's not made for that, but they're adding that in so the people that know it. It's like having read Harry Potter and watching Harry Potter. If you've read it, you get more from it. If you haven't, the movies are still great, right?
It's like reading Mandalorian and the movies are bad. They're almost all bad, but that's a completely separate topic.
No, but Kevin, seriously, like I do not I have seen all the Star Wars movies, and I couldn't tell you what happens in just about any of them. Like it's my memory, my retention for Star Wars is garbage. But I love Mandalorian because it's fundamentally is what I want out of Star Wars. You've got the essence of this like space western, cool sci-fi looking outfits and lasers and lightsabers and
outfits and lasers,
and androids and cute fucking puppets and complex like animatronics and prosthetic makeup and just like an enjoyable character development that you can watch. And I don't know any of the references that they're making, but they don't take away from what's going on, right? And any little thing I do recognize, I'm like, oh, that's kind of fun. But it doesn't it's not like I'm not going, fuck, how does this what is this? So when is this? I think at one point I went, when in the Star Wars timeline does Mandalorian take place? And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And it didn't affect whether or not I understood what was going on at all. So I actually think you might be able to get into, if you liked Firefly, you will like Mandalorian.
I did like Firefly.
You will like Mandalorian.
I was a white nerd of a certain age. I liked Firefly. They, like, you came out of the womb, they did a test, they saw if you were a nerd, and they issued you Firefly on DVD. That's what they did, and we were all in there, although Dr. Horrible was even more my shit.
You are a Dr. Horrible nerd, aren't you? That makes so much fun. I just rewatched that the other day. I'm not even lying.
Holds up,
that was
right?
Fun. Yeah, while I was holed up. It's a fun freaking...
Kev was asking if the show holds up.
If Dr. Horrible holds up.
Yeah, it does. I was like, I'm holed up. It's a fucking quarantine, Kevin, of course.
You idiot.
You idiot. But no... No, but then, like, looking back and being like, wow, this was done during, like, a writer's strike. And, like, this is awesome. You know, and looking at Neil Patrick Harris before, you're like, oh. Like, I love Neil Patrick Harris, but I also think that he's kind of cringy. No,
he's kind of cringy.
Once we met the mom, right? How I Met Your Mother. Oh, which was, like, while it was going on, I loved it. And then upon reflection, I was like, this is severely toxic.
Yeah, we've talked about it many times on this show. That show has aged like milk.
Milk! But everything Neil Patrick Harris has done after that is... It's Neil Patrick Harris doing Neil Patrick Harris as a character.
Right, and even that starts with Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle, right? That's his big return where he plays himself, and he's essentially Barney Stinson in an R-rated movie, so he can do and say even worse shit. And then that, and that sort of just, like, he nicely catapults that into 9 seasons of How I Met Your Mother, where I guess through enough coercion, he's like, actually, can you guys let me sing and dance like all the time? And then he's become a successful like award show host, Broadway star. You know, he's a hell of a guy.
And then he did Series of Unfortunate Events, which is a flawless execution of Series of Unfortunate Events, but his portrayal of Olaf. Because we have seen Jim Carrey, we can't unsee Jim Carrey. So, like, even though it is, like, the tone is spot on, the tone is probably more true to the books than the Jim Carrey movie ever was. It's kind of campy, it's fun, it's definitely for kids, but enjoyable for all ages. Dark, mysterious, campy, all these fabulous things. And then you watch it, like, this is amazing. And then you watch Neil Patrick Harris as Count Olaf, and you're like, but it's not Jim.
I remember people saying, like, oh my god, Neil Patrick Harris, so much better than Jim Carrey as Count Olaf. And then I watched the show, and I was like, they're doing exactly the same thing, but he's just not Jim Carreying it. They're doing the same voice affectation. Like, they're doing the exact same thing. I like that Jim Carrey movie. It's a flawed adaptation, but Jim is really entertaining. You got a young, like, Emily Browning in there, and she's a star. And I really like... There's the image that just keeps sticking with me is all the stuff with, like, Jude Law writing in a clock tower because he's playing Lemony Snicket. And I just think that's just, like, weirdly powerful imagery. You know, the movie's fine. Oh, Meryl Streep is in it? That's fun. The design of the movie's fun. It's fun. It's a fun movie.
It's a fun movie, and there's a lot of really great visual things that they do. How did we fucking get from Star Wars to Neil Patrick? Yo, we are...
That's the way of it.
We move a lot.
Undone.
We're undone.
And
Amen,
this is, of
brother.
course, Advanced Community Studies, the podcast where we talk about a whole bunch of shit, and also the American television comedy Community, 1 or 2 episodes at a time. We are, of course, also the premier podcast in the Yahoo Screen Podcasting Network.
Yahoo!
I am one of your hosts.
One of these days I'll be ready for that.
But it is not this day.
It's not this day.
One of these days, I could change my name to Blade, but it won't change the way mustard tastes.
Hey, what's everybody? I forgot how to speak English. My name is Jace. I use they, them pronouns. I need not say anything else before I embarrass myself further. Just kidding. I'd really love to be a vampire that can also slay vampire.
The daddy host, the third one. I'm incredibly time crunched every day of my life now, and it's great. More on that.
Baby watch.
Yeah. I was gonna say more on that later. But yeah, I don't really have a good quote or a good nickname for myself. But I the only thing I can think of that could be referenced to this show is remember, this is just a quick peek at Community, which isn't true. But if you tell anyone that we're doing this, we'll stop letting you do things with us that we're afraid to tell anyone we did.
Could you imagine if we went back? Here's the thing.
Yes.
This has made me think, right, about how, Blade, of course, making me think. Love it. Fucking.
Some motherfuckers always try to ice skate uphill.
Can you imagine? By the time we actually get the movie, right? Because let's face it, it's not going to happen for a while.
The Community movie or the Blade movie?
Get out of my brain.
Okay.
Basically, what I'm saying is, how sick would it be if the new one, the new Blade, came out
Mahershala Ali.
With Mahershala fucking Ali comes out before the Community movie, and they're able to make another reference.
Oh, they're watching
Blade.
this Blade? That's
fully
pretty good.
making it a full circle tie-in to the MCU.
Let's be completely honest. Mahershala Ali would be in the Community movie for fun.
Oh my god, that'd be so sick if he.
Then that scene
Abed
where
geeking out in front of Mahershala Ali as himself, being like, "You're Blade," and he's like, "What? No, my name's Mahershala." And he's like, "No, you're Blade."
And then it would make that scene where in Spider-Verse, Uncle Aaron is watching Community, just like the world would implode because you would have Mahershala Ali, who plays Uncle Aaron in Spider-Verse. Also but he was watching and then just like it's like in Spider-Verse, it's like the universes are collapsing, right? And telephone poles are
oh my god, like, that's actually what happens. So the Community movie is Abed meets Mahershala Ali, and then the Community / Marvel universe implodes on itself.
No.
And then Troy turns into a new version of Miles Morales, and he, as Spider-Man, has to save the Community verse. That's my pitch. Dan Harmon, fucking hire me.
You were not around for the episode where we pitched our Community movies, so I'm glad we finally got yours.
That's my pitch.
I'm really glad we finally got
saving the Spider-Verse, created by Abed, creating just a temporal anomaly by meta upon meta, imploding him on its.
How incredible would it be if, like, in all seriousness, the third Spider-Man movie has, or Multiverse of Madness, whichever one you want, because Spider-Man's going to be in that
Joel
too.
McHale needs to make a cameo as a bank teller. It needs to fucking happen. He hasn't been in any of the MCU movies yet. It would be perfect. It would be perfect.
Sure. But what I was going to say is, what if they, while looking through whatever lens they're going to be looking through to peer into different universes, they're looking through the different times that Spider-Man's existed, and for a second we get Troy Barnes as dressed in Spider-Man pajamas, and Tom Holland as Peter Parker's like, who's that? And Doctor Strange is like, don't worry, it's not important. And Tom Holland's like, but it's not important. And then Doctor Strange, Benedict Cumberbatch, has to be like, actually, this little hole of existence is why everything exists, but we can't focus on it. And then they just move on.
All right, now give me.
But Donald Glover's already in the MCU.
That's true, as Uncle Aaron. So again,
shit!
The fucking.
Peter
so then Mahershala Ali and Donald Glover do the famous. Wait, you're you and I'm you, but instead of it's Spider-Man's, it's just Prowlers.
It's two Prowlers. Now, okay, hear me out here. If we're gonna do this, do you remember that scene? I guess I'm just talking to Caleb. Caleb, do you remember that scene in Rise of Skywalker where
I realize why you're just talking to me, and it's deeply funny. Go on.
Rise of Skywalker, where for no reason Maz Kanata hands Chewbacca a medal.
See, who the fuck is that?
Jace, that's why I hate it.
Jason, that's fine.
I'm in theaters, and I have no idea what you're referring to.
Your dads are talking. All I'm saying is that Cats and Rise of Skywalker were released on exactly the same day, and I know which one was the better movie. So, remember that where Maz Kanata hands Chewbacca a medal just because fans have made that a thing for years now, right? Where it's like, Chewbacca didn't get his medal at the end of New Hope. You know that, Caleb, I assume?
Yeah.
So we have Joel McHale go up to actor Rosemary Harris, who of course played Aunt May in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy. She's still kicking, 93 years young.
Damn.
And after all these years, he finally hands her toaster that she wanted from the bank in Spider-Man 2.
Wait, hold on. You can't... But you do realize what that...
He finally gives
For
her
all
the
my
toaster.
gays in the audience,
Fans have been
you
waiting.
know what I'm about to say.
Fans have been clamoring.
I just... it's... Okay, but, like, do y'all understand, like, the toaster reference in, like, gay culture? Ellen
No.
DeGeneres, the toaster?
No.
Okay. Damn. Wow.
Am I
Damn.
gonna learn something?
Yeah, let me just... So, Ellen DeGeneres, you know, famous gay, if you will.
One of the more famous gays.
One of the more famous gays. Let
A
me
gateway gay. You know, where it makes Republican moms okay with gays. You know what I mean? A Will and Grace gay.
A very sanitized.
Right.
A very sanitized, safe gay. It's a gateway gay, and then it leads you to deeper gays.
So essentially, the joke is, and it came from Ellen, the Ellen DeGeneres, that show that she did. It's called the Puppy Episode. Essentially,
You're talking about like the Ellen show, like her sitcom, Ellen?
yes,
Or-
like
okay,
that
okay.
first sitcom where it was like, oh my god, gays on
Yeah, where
mainstream
she
TV.
came out on the show. Yeah.
Right, exactly. In lesbian terms, right?
Okay.
You get a toaster oven if you if you sleep with a straight woman. Basically, if you turn a straight girl, you get a toaster oven. And that's like a slang thing within the community. So just the second you said, "Oh, Aunt May gets a toaster oven," I didn't think of it in terms
Well,
of
Y'all are gonna come after me. Hold the fucking phone. Y'all are gonna come after me for Star Wars having some bullshit backstory, and that's a thing that happens in real life.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
We don't, okay,
Correct.
us lesbians don't actually give each other fucking toasters when we turn someone.
And people don't actually have the force, but I get made fun of.
That's correct. That's correct.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, Caleb, you understand. No, it's
Okay,
you've grasped it.
Just making sure
that's
that
how it
I
works,
have
yes.
the ledger straightened out before we carry on.
Those are the rules. Yeah,
I
that's
can
correct.
only.
You got it. So no, you understand.
Good. That's fine. Good. Now I know exactly how much bullshit. I'm just kidding. All right.
Get a toaster oven. Well, we all saw
Look,
Spider-Verse where Aunt May and
queer
Doc
culture is
Ock
more
definitely
expansive
fucked.
and confusing.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying I know exactly how much bullshit I have to put up with from y'all now because
Correct.
we've established there is a limit on this thing.
There is precedent. The court acknowledges. Yes.
Toasters do exist in this universe.
Toasters exist in this universe. The court episode of Community is next week. But for now, first episode on our docket, season 3, episode 15, Cruisin'. Origins of Vampire Mythology, directed by Steven Tsuchida, written by Dan Harmon, one of the rare Dan Harmon credits on the television show Community. We know he rewrites every episode, but it's weird when he gets a credit. It's very rare. It's like this, horror fiction, and 7 spooky steps. And then he's a co-writer on the next 2 season premieres. But it's interesting when he gets, that's the kind of thing that I think is interesting. I can't confirm it's interesting to anybody else. In this episode, a carnival comes to town, and with it, one of Britta's exes, named Blade, that she was obsessed with. So she hides out with Troy and Abed and Annie, and the dean stops by. And at the same time, Jeff and Shirley go to the carnival to find out everything they can about this Blade person. Now, I did do a Twitter poll related to this episode, asking our listeners a sort of, I guess it's kind of a would you rather, but there's only one option, so it's like would you or wouldn't you? Would you remove the part of your brain that feels shame vis-a-vis Britta's lover Blade?
No.
Everyone would always seek your approval, but you would work the rest of your life at a carnival.
No.
So Jay says no. Caleb, would you remove shame?
I think
It's tough.
I'm not sure.
I don't know
sure.
why I wouldn't, but I just know that I wouldn't.
I
feel
envy
like
this
it was
man's
an
level of
learning
zen.
factor.
It's a
I feel
thing-
like I care too much about developing.
But see, the thing that I have, knowing who I am, right, and that like this isn't going to like start your life over, but have no shame. It's from right now, remove your shame. That's just gonna mean like I dance at parties.
You don't feel self-conscious in social or public situations.
Yeah, exactly. This just means my self-consciousness goes away, which means that like I probably am more okay with who I am as a person instead of being the like constantly anxious and like always worrying like you're not good enough. You're not. I would just be like, no, I'm okay. So like that sounds great. And now in the instances
But
where it
is
turns
shame
into
the
like
same thing as anxiety though? Because I feel like it's possible to have like to be able to kind of remove that. I don't know, Kevin. What's your take? Because I hear that and I'm like, I go out and I dance.
By the impetus of this episode, I'm taking Blade as the example of what a person acts and behaves like when their shame has been removed. That is what the show posits someone would be if they had no shame. They would feel no anger for working at a carnival for their entire life. Not that that's a shameful career, but, you know, sometimes people feel trapped in by their jobs that are not quote-unquote dream jobs, right? And that he would never try to seek your approval, but he makes other people want to impress him because he is never impressed. It's the same way that like the movie, it's not exactly how it would be if you're like shame, like the literal like part of your brain that feels shame were removed. Because it would come with like all these unintended side effects in the same way that like people that can't feel pain also never know when they have to pee. You know what I mean?
They don't know when their hand's on fire or they just cut their thumb off.
They never learn those processes the way people do when they feel things. In the same way that like the movie Liar Liar posits not lying as always speaking the truth, which is not necessarily always thinking whatever is on your mind. Which is not necessarily how I would interpret lying, but I'm taking Blade as the example of what it would be like if you didn't feel shame. You would essentially become Blade with your personality grafted onto him. I would consider it. I don't know
I don't want that.
which way I came down. Our listeners, or the people of Twitter.
Yeah, how did they vote?
43.1% said yes. I would remove the part of my
brain. Closer to 50
brain.
than I would have.
Out of how many votes?
58. Not an overwhelming, but like I think that's a fairly
small
decent
sample size, but still surprising results. Wow.
They
Election
were
season's just full of intrigue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god, it's still not over.
Fraud at the polls.
It's still
fraud
not
at
over.
the polls.
It's still not fucking over. It's still not over.
It's
Yeah.
not over.
Pardon the crinkling. I'm just like shoving truffles in my face.
Now you gotta do what you gotta do.
You gotta do what you gotta do to feel good about yourself, you know?
So that you
I will
don't feel
forever
shame.
call
Yeah.
the presidency of Trump the crinkling.
The crinkling.
I apologize for the crinkling.
But anyway, I thought that was interesting. I wanted to see how people would.
Oh,
come
that is
down.
interesting.
Because
Thank you for
every
the
time
statistics.
Thank you. Every time I watch this episode, I do wonder. I'm like, oh, would I, in like a Twilight Zone scenario, would I allow myself to no longer feel shame? Because I think 4 years ago, the answer would have been an unequivocal yes. Like, when I was too nervous to like dance at concerts because I was worried people were looking at me, which makes no sense. But it was like,
Right.
but it was how.
But that's a real fear.
In a
Yeah.
Midwestern environment where like you can never have your own business because everyone will the example of this that I use is that when I moved to New York, the greatest thing that happened is I realized that no one gave a shit whether I lived or died. Like, no one on the street would pay you any notice unless you were doing the most bizarre thing. And even
then they look
they'll
at you
just
for
walk
a
right by you.
second and they go,
Right.
not my business, and walk
Right.
away.
And there was this one time where I like bought an office chair at an office supply store that was like not close to my apartment. So I had to like drag it the whole way back.
You
and I
just
was
tell me you brought it on
thinking,
the subway.
No, I just dragged it down like the sidewalk. But in the and I passed many people. And in the Midwest, no one would let you do that without asking, like, well, where are you going? Why didn't you use a car? You know, like all these different questions. In New York, they just move out of your way and everyone goes about their business. And that was the best thing that ever happened for my personal feelings of shame. Or my personal feelings
love New York.
I love New York. Thanks, New York.
It's wild. It is definitely. I mean, for a more like personal connection to that, like first of all, that's super real. You're moving shit down the sidewalk. People just get out the way. They're like, I'm not going to question it. They have a thing. It needs to be somewhere else. They're moving it. Period. Right. Yeah. For me, being able to wear whatever I wanted to wear, basically, like it's still, you know, I still get scared sometimes, obviously, but depending on where I am in New York, right, I put on massive heels and like just like a really gender fucky outfit and just walk. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody feel so powerful because nobody cares. Nobody's questioning you. Nobody's acting like they know better than you. They're just existing in the similar, not even, excuse me, I get hiccups when I get excited. Not even existing in the same space as you, existing in similar space as you. It's really, really cool. My question though, because if I recall correctly, there's a bit about mustard in this episode with Blade. Is that correct?
They question Jeff and Shirley ask him why his name is Blade, and he's like, I don't know, my parents named me Blade, and he's like, nothing I can really do about it. Wouldn't change the way mustard tastes. And they're like, well, you could change your name, and he's like, I don't know. I don't know. Why not?
Change the way my name is tastes. Gotcha. Okay, because for some reason, speaking of Easter eggs, it's like you know, and you were talking earlier that sometimes like as fans we like to force Easter eggs that aren't actually Easter eggs.
Yes.
I just immediately yes. Just the idea of Britta getting mustard on her face and the shame that mustard provides in the Meow Beans episodes, juxtaposed against him being like, I don't know, fucking mustard's mustard, is just like it's a fun tie.
And also John Oliver rubbing mustard all over his face to get attention.
Yeah. Oh, in the party in the season 1 finale.
Pascal's love triangle.
I love mustard as a metaphor. Mustard as a utility. Mustard as a metaphor. Mustard as a utility for comedy. Because mustard has this vibrant yellow comedy coloring. But I feel like it doesn't come up a lot. You see a lot more mayo when it comes to comedy.
Well, mayo is disgusting in large quantities. Ketchup is super synthetic.
Yeah, because comedy's written by men and it looks like cum. But mustard has this nice, vibrant. Doesn't it? Kevin, go to a doctor. Good. Glad we were on the same bread. Yeah, but I don't know. Anyway, mustard as a comedy utility, mustard as metaphor. I think there's something here. I'm going to write a fucking book called Mustard as Metaphor.
Mustard as metaphor is just kind of.
And what's nice is if you do actually write that book, Mustard as a Metaphor, you will also be able to sell it in Christian bookstores because they love using mustard as a metaphor.
Do they really?
Faith is like a mustard seed, my friend.
Yes, faith is like a mustard seed.
I do not understand any of this reference.
Oh, okay. Well,
mustard seeds are astronomically tiny, and mustard trees are huge.
Yeah.
So faith is like a mustard seed. You plant something small, and it grows large, like Jesus.
Right. And because,
this is large, or this is a mustard seed.
Grows like your okay. So your faith is small, like a mustard seed. But if you plant it, if you tend to it, if you water it, it can grow into something great and large and not mighty, but you get what I mean.
Good for hot dogs in Chicago.
Yeah, and delicious. My much preferred hot dog topping to ketchup. I love a mustard.
Honestly, I don't like ketchup. Is that weird? I don't.
No, I also not. It
is. You know what I think of when I see ketchup? You know how in every dystopian sci-fi movie or anything like that, there's always some sort of fucking goop that they put onto your plate and people just eat it without questioning it? That's what ketchup is in real life. It is sugar, chemicals, and red coloring. It is disgusting. Tell me that came from a tomato. I will look you dead in the eye and call you a fucking liar.
just because the only ketchup I've ever tried is Heinz ketchup doesn't mean all ketchup's bullshit.
Even the homemade shit, I'm like, that is fucked up. That is I mean, the homemade stuff's like, it's just no. I'm sorry.
Do you like barbecue sauce?
Barbecue sauce is entirely different. But if
No,
you're talking,
it is not. Barbecue sauce is ketchup with a lot more sugar.
I will
Homie, it's not that. It's not that different.
You're talking about prepackaged, put into a fucking supermarket barbecue sauce. When meanwhile, there's like.
So you're talking about supermarket ketchup.
Yes.
Yeah, but ketchup exists almost exclusively in that form.
No, it does not. It doesn't. Ketchup doesn't exist exclusively in a Heinz bottle any more than barbecue
There's
sauce
no such
exists.
thing as ketchup culture. There's such thing as barbecue culture. People coming up with their own barbecue sauces.
Are you willing right now on a podcast about a niche ass podcast about a specific
What are you
sitcom? Are you willing to say now, for the record, that you think nowhere on this planet there's ketchup culture? Because I can guarantee you we can find it.
Okay, hold on. In order for me to adequately respond to this, we need to address what you mean by culture, and that is far too large.
You're the one that said it. You're the one that said it, so you got to define it.
Culture, not in the sense of like,
Stockham's
culture,
razor,
I'm going
homie.
to take a gallon of ketchup, put it in my bathtub, and take a bath in ketchup, because that's technically what ketchup culture is on the internet. I'm talking about culinary food culture, where there are different regions that do barbecue sauce in different ways, and there's competitions around who's got the best that doesn't exist for ketchup.
Dude, ketchup came from Vietnamese fish sauce. Yes, it does. Yes,
Okay.
it absolutely does. There is deep down grassroots ketchup culture that's about the origins of
fish
yes,
sauce?
yes.
Well, I love fish sauce.
It comes from a Chinese word for ketchup or something like that. That's why we call it ketchup.
That sounds okay.
It's got origins that are legit, and like barbecue sauce comes from ketchup. Sriracha comes from ketchup. Gochujang comes from ketchup. Like all of these things.
Whoa. Okay, you know what? Fair. I shall concede. Ketchup does exist in a realm outside of what I am referring to as ketchup.
If I can accomplish anything today, it's not going to be convincing y'all that Star Wars is worth watching. It's that ketchup.
Ketchup has culture.
Yes. Let me. I will broker a peace here. In America only, barbecue sauce has culture.
These are facts.
The rest of the metric system, rest of the world, ketchup has culture.
Yeah.
In pure capitalist United States, right? It is a dystopian fucking goo. Ketchup exists solely
in
as
America,
ketchup
is wrong. Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, great. Now that we've brokered that, I really like this Jeff plotline. This is one of my favorite Jeff plotlines. It's very small. It's not like a deep character study, but Jeff, to quote Abed, who has one of the most fragile ego in the group, who just a few weeks ago had his ego apple explode. He's sort of seeing Blade as this figure to desire to become, an aspirational figure was what I was searching for, is not even so I can woo Britta, though that might very well be an element of it, but as an aspirational, I don't want to feel so insecure all the time. I don't want to call phone sex lines and tell them I'm overweight. I don't want to feel the need to be a chiseled specimen in order to receive love. That he sees Blade as this human mirror that he wants a puzzle to figure out. That is a fascinating little bit of character study, and I love that they give him Shirley as his compatriot in this as well.
Yeah.
I
like that Shirley is his Virgil. They're going through
right the Inferno.
They're in his several circles of hell, and she's walking him through all the stages of denial and also circles of hell at the same time. I like it very much.
That is very good.
I think that makes sense. I totally liken it more similarly to when he shows up at I can't remember his name, the doctor at his place.
Rich's apartment.
Rich's apartment, where you think he's gonna go one place, he shows up at Rich's apartment. He's like, "Teach me," right?
Yeah, we think he's running to Annie, and he runs to Rich.
Right, and that's this is this version of that, right? And I also think because we've been exploring the Annie and Jeff relationship a bit more at this point in this series, right? I think the Britta and Jeff is kind of an undertone of They are for each other. They're like, when you're in a desperate place, you turn to this person. That is their function now. But as far as a relationship in the show, it's much more Jeff and Annie focused. So for this is a personal, like, when you're in an extreme place moment for Jeff. And I think what you said is super accurate, Kevin. This is like, it reminds me of, Rich, in that just like, I just want to be happy.
A very different character, but the same. And I also feel this to a certain extent. I think I'm a little less obsessive about it than Jeff, but like this way of like, okay, this person kind of seems to have their own thing figured out. Not can I become Blade or can I become Rich, but can I, Kevin, take some elements of Blade or Rich to round myself out a little bit? You know what I mean? Can I fill in my own gaps and learn good lessons from these people, rather than can I become Blade or Rich or Jeff? I took elements of Jeff and adapted them into my personality, mostly just the jibber jabber, but the same idea is there. Know what I mean? Oh my God, I'm outlawing back and forth messages about barbecue sauce in the Skype chat. We won't. It's over. It's over. The barbecue sauce is done. I broke her to piece. You each got half the baby, okay? And
we had to make our closing statements without involving anybody who was watching.
Fine.
I get weekends, Caleb. I get weekends.
That's fine. Wait, you get them for the weekend?
Yeah.
Because that means my weekends are free. Cool. Go off. I got it.
Sounds good. Yeah, but Caleb, that doesn't mean you have to get them up and pick them up from school.
Work at the same
barbecue
time.
Sauce. You have to get barbecue sauce home from school. Anyway, I'm glad I opened up myself while you chuckle fucks, you jamooks were talking about fucking barbecue sauce in chat. Glad I put that out there.
I had sent that message minutes ago, so I was listening to what you were currently saying.
I only just
then diving into the chat just completely dumped what you'd said. Out of the importance and brought this back up until night. So that's,
No, someone else talk. I'm done.
I really desperately want to know what Troy sent to Britta.
We want to see that note. I think it's better. It's like when she whispers into his ear at the end of Lost in Translation. Like, it's better that we never. Yeah, sure. It's more powerful that we never.
Fundamentally, does a really great job of setting up like the notion that Troy and Britta might have some sort of connection there, because it shows fundamentally, even without understanding it, there is an emotional understanding that the two of them have with each other, and their communication styles work when applied properly, which we later on.
We're also in the negative. We're also on the downward spin for Troy's existence on this show, and so like I think it's logical to then assume that Troy has changed and is changing into the person that's going to decide shortly that like he should actually take a trip around the world because he does want to do something with his life. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's, if we go back to one of our episodes in the top 3, right, the episode where he turns 21, and you realize that indeed. He's the most adult of the group.
Yes.
That entire night. I think that Troy is and maybe part of the reason why I feel like I relate to him more is that Troy's like more mature than he puts on, and he puts on immaturity so that people don't ask him to have responsibility, which like I get, but like he has these moments where he's like, it's not that hard, just do this, and everyone's like, like he solves the pen crisis, he solves the going out and drinking crisis, he solves this, like he's there. He just doesn't want to. It's literally the argument that Troy and Jeff have at the end of season 2 in the paintball episode where he's stepping up and Jeff's like, I don't step up, I just let it get thrust upon me or whatever.
Yeah,
is what Troy is. It's literally Troy's and Jeff's mentalities, is that Jeff will be like, all right, I'll do it, and instead Troy's like, I'm gonna do this because no one else is doing it, right? And they kind of like, I don't know, it feels like they are the same in some ways, but they're also very different approaches to solving problems in other ways.
That seems like an interesting kind of relation to, I'm immediately thinking of the wedding episode and how like Troy and Abed took it upon themselves to like be more mature, act serious. And Troy has a fundamental bridge between that childlike wonder that he's able to possess and the maturity that he has but doesn't flaunt in his ability to be able to go, wait, he looks at the monkey, which, you know, is of course a great way to pull him out of it, but still, he looks at the monkey and goes, we don't need to do this anymore. Let's stop doing this because it's actually not helpful for anybody.
Yeah, and it's also the realization that, like, we're weird.
Yeah.
And if we're not being weird, that's weirder than we are.
Yeah.
And, like,
then who
that's
are
a
we
really
anymore?
fucking meta thought to, like, hit you and be like, oh, shit. Us not being weird is weirder than us just being us, because everyone expects us
To be weird.
It reminds me of fucking Jack Sparrow and being like, you can always count on, you can't trust an honest person, right? You can always count on the liar to lie, but it's the honest ones
dishonest.
you never know when they're going to fuck up and do something dishonest. You can always count on, you know, the weird person being weird, so it's not weird. But as soon as they start acting normal, it's a fucking problem. My Dinner with Andre is exactly that fucking instance. As soon as the weirdo starts getting straight-laced, you're like,
what is going on?
are
Should
you
I be
okay?
concerned for my
How
life?
can we help?
Right.
Yes,
This
exactly.
cannot exist. And in the I like this attention to, like, Troy's emotional acuity, right? Because Troy is dumb, but he's also very tender. And no, he's dumb. What? What? Troy's dumb. I think that is
but it's still not nice.
that's beyond reproach.
Troy's dumb like your dog's dumb. Like, you go, hey,
Right.
dummy.
No.
Like, it's an affectionate dumb.
But
not
it
like
still
a
hurts when you
actual-
call but you're telling me that if someone went up to your dog, you went, "You're so dumb," you wouldn't a little bit be offended. You wouldn't be
No,
like,
dogs
no.
are dumb.
Not slightly.
"All
No.
right."
I used to walk up to my daughter when she was arguably still dumb and be like, "Sup, dummy?" and, like, not feel bad about it because she couldn't say words.
Did what?
Yeah, babies are dumb. What? Like, that's
You're objectively dumb. If I left you
can't.
alone,
And call her dummy.
Yeah. Nah.
Yes.
Babies are dumb.
my 9-month-old daughter took not her first steps. I wasn't exactly there in that moment when I did this, but she took, in the first few months of her walking, once walked up to me while I was laying on the couch and got her face right in front of my face, and I said, "Oh, what's up, dummy?" And, like, I meant every syllable of it.
Yeah, kids dumb. But in the same way that your dog, despite being dumb, knows when it needs to, like, lay its head on your lap, Troy has this great emotional sensitivity, right? We saw it with Annie at the end of his birthday episode. Like, he is the best with Abed, and Abed is, like, as we see in the end tags of one of these episodes, like, he's very delicate. Like, you mess with something, and it's going to throw his whole equilibrium out of back. Troy knows exactly how to, like, handle and manage that. The same way that, like, he knows emotionally exactly how Britta will react to his tender message. It's also why, despite, you know, some attraction, some chemistry, that couple's never going to work. That there is no longevity for Troy and Britta, a relationship I have pretty, like, mixed feelings about. Not
I'm
as,
very glad
like,
it stays very short.
Understandably.
It's very short. It's not very deep. We don't really, like, it doesn't. My problem with the relationship is
What
earnestly.
season is that relationship in?
That's season 4.
Well, there you go.
Right. It's my problem with it is that it doesn't tell us anything new about either of these characters.
Right.
If you're going to enter two television characters into a relationship, it should be
further the development of those characters.
further those developments and teach us something new about them. Because at this point in the show, we'd never seen either of these characters in a long-term relationship, and we don't learn anything new about either one of them. And that is ultimately despite the fact that it lasts 12 episodes, you know. So that's kind of my issue there. But it's the same reason it's not built to last. He is too tender. She is a little too outwardly sharp, or at least doesn't respond well to tenderness. So it's built to fail.
Such a sweet boy.
Yeah, it's a sweet boy. They're both great characters. They're both, I think, good human beings on the whole. But it's just
Sure, they all go to Greendale.
Yeah, right. But there's a fundamental flaw at the core of this that it just won't last. It can't. But
we can't do it.
But this episode is interesting. This plot is interesting. This junky locker in the room and chain her to the radiator plot with Britta.
Jesus.
Anyway,
it's an interesting way that they also managed to tie in the little bit we get about Annie's addiction and how she relates to her methods with that. I can't really speak towards how effective it is in representing that community per se, but it's definitely a fascinating device that they managed to pull out of that previously mentioned character bit, you know?
Keeping that bit of her character never dominant, but
ever present. It's always sort of there,
a season,
but not really.
It kind of comes up again. You know, it's how she recognizes Alan in Accounting for Lawyers. It's you know, every so often.
God,
it's
that bit with the notebook and Shirley
doing charades.
Just grabs the notebook.
Alan got Jeff disbarred. Good bit. Excellent bit. Let's segue into the second episode here, which is, I think, deeply interesting. Season 3, episode 16, Virtual Systems Analysis, directed by Tristram Shapiro, written by Matt Murray. In this episode, Annie joins Abed in the Dreamatorium, and after breaking Abed's brain, they run an elaborate series of scenarios about what could potentially happen with the study group. Is that how you would describe this episode? It's so difficult to put a rope around the plot of this episode.
I'm not even gonna lie to you. I since I didn't get a chance to rewatch it today, I'm like very hazy as to what specifically like happens. Like I know what happens, but like as far as breaking down fundamentally what is this episode about, I'm like, it's chaos in the Dreamatorium. I love it.
It's Abed and Annie searching for self-realization, or trying to put realization on the other person and eventually finding self-realization. And through that, they hit a cooperation. Like, that is the story we're trying to do here, while jumping infinite perspectives and doing a hospital school drama.
Right, yeah.
It's because I think I'm on a train. It's just like, this was the one when we had Neil Goldman on. This was the episode that he was like, I don't fucking understand this episode. I never feel lost when I'm watching it. Like, I do always understand who is in what body and what is happening. It just
tracks. You can definitely track the characters.
Mm-hmm. But it's so hard to put a pin on exact. This is, I think, the weirdest episode of Community. Just on a, like, I
not
cannot
including
believe
gas leak strangeness, like fundamentally, like
this is
like
weirder
the essence
than
of
any,
the episode. Right. Yeah.
This is the weirdest thing to ever air on NBC, the National Broadcasting Corporation. This is so fucking unwieldy. This could only happen when NBC has already decided, like, all right, Dan Harmon is out. We're fine. He can finish his little season and do whatever he wants, because next year we're rebooting. Next year we're starting over. So fine. He can do this absolutely unhinged episode set entirely in two characters' imagination. They can do a holodeck episode from Star Trek The Next Generation. Fine. Yeah. Fine.
It's fun, though. I mean,
really
this
fun.
is like, it definitely feels like, yeah, Dan Harmon's just being like, I'm just going to do whatever the fuck I want to. This seems fucking fun, so I'm going to do it.
It also feels like it's a little bit of Dan Harmon being like, I mean, we're, 2.5 years into this show at this point? So, like, it feels like this is Dan Harmon being like, stop shipping these people. That's not what this show's about.
Yeah.
So you want to see Troy and Britta on a date? It's going to be fucking weird. You want to see Annie and Abed in a room together? It's going to get fucked up. I was trying to save the Jeff and Annie conversation kind of for later on, but we have stumbled upon it. In this episode, Annie herself, good Star Wars reference, Annie herself says...
See, I didn't even get it. God damn it.
She says, I don't actually like Jeff. I like the idea of being loved and changing Jeff into someone who can love me. But that's not going to happen. And isn't how you should do love.
No, don't.
Not at all. Yeah,
like,
no,
first
that's
rule is like don't try and change someone.
Yeah, we've talked about this before too. Like, this isn't the first time we've seen Annie try to change people. She did it in her horror story. She did it after she kissed Jeff in the beginning of season 2, when she's like trying to make him acknowledge her. Now we see it here. Like, that's, and then we see it in season 4, and I don't know, gas leak season or whatever. But like, we see that when they're at the fucking Inspector Spacetime Con.
I mean, Annie, as a control freak, it makes sense that that's her MO with relationships. But fundamentally speaking, we also understand that that is kind of her character flaw, is that exact thing, that desire that she holds.
Right. There's this exceptional moment in the second to last episode of this show at Garrett's wedding, where Annie is talking about how she's gonna like go around and fix everything at the wedding and fix all of her friends, and Frankie says like, okay, we need to get you away from Jeff. we need to corral you over here. Which is one of 10,000 reasons why Frankie Dart is one of my favorite characters. Yes. And she also has that. Okay, no, I can't get on Frankie right now.
Just about to go down into the hole.
Yeah, sorry. I will have 13 episodes to talk about Frankie. But we are. I don't know. Because this season 3, is the first time we've really addressed the Jeff and Annie of it all head on. Because there's like, they kiss in the debate episode. I know that's a reference
to the show, but every time you say the Jeff and Annie of it all, I get a visceral like shudder.
Yeah, you just throw up a little bit in your mouth.
No.
But, yeah, so, they kiss in the debate episode, but that's like a plot point, and then they kiss again in the finale, in an episode the three of us do not like, where everyone is acting grossly out of character. Then, it comes up, like, kind of in the conspiracy theory episode, but not really. They there's one moment where Jeff falls on her, but it's not like a romantic plot. It's just like a beat. And then, but season 3, really early on, like, hits Jeff and Annie really hard, and then has slowly kind of pumped the brakes on that, and we've pulled back from that relationship dynamic. But I don't understand, and this is just me talking, how someone could watch the horror fiction episode where Annie's fantasy is to change Jeff at the disparagement of her friend Britta, where you could watch this episode where Annie herself says she doesn't actually love Jeff, she loves an idea of Jeff that isn't real, and how you could watch the series finale where like Jeff's version of Annie says like, is this really like what you want? Like, is this who you are? You and me and a kid? Like, how you can watch all of these elements and still, like, yell at me on Twitter about how this is the greatest love story in the history of television.
Nope, you're wrong.
My suggestion would be watch more television. I can off the dome.
Yo, here's the weird thing, right? We've already expressed our distaste for How I Met Your Mother, right?
Yeah.
But
you still love it, aged like milk. Yes.
Right, but even I would say that the relationship, this might be actually like a really like contested statement. The relationship between Ted and Robin, is a much better relationship than Jeff and Annie will ever be.
Oh, and it has 110%.
And toxicity moments.
110%.
I just don't get it. I don't get it.
Mm-hmm. But that,
you know what? I'm going to say it. I have officially realized, without a doubt, my perfect pairing for the Jeff Winger relationship. And it is 100% obviously the Dean.
Oh, you're Jeff Dean. Okay.
Yeah.
Gene Pinger. Or Gene Pinger.
That sounds like really.
Yeah, Gene Panger. Caleb takes umbrage with the Jeff Dean title for that relationship simply because his name is not Dean. But you're right. I kind of like. I mean, my ultimate pairing is Jeff Slater, but that went out the window like a long time ago.
So Jeff Slater is a bum one, but I don't think Jeff deserves her.
That's a good point, actually.
She's capricious. Hold on. No, she's capricious and dumps him because she gets scared and then dates a guy that looks just like him. They perfectly deserve each other. She's bound to find someone that looks like Jeff, and Jeff is bound to find someone who tells him what to do because he doesn't like doing it.
Sure.
Which is also why I think Jeff and Frankie could be a thing.
I was thinking you were building up to that.
Kev sees right through me. And
I like it. I like it because they're a little more similar. They're on the same sort of wavelength.
Yeah, I think did we talk about this? Actually, did we already do this?
Have. We
like Jeff and Frankie would be the couple that goes and gets wine and watches a cheap movie at home.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You would want nothing more than to be invited to their holiday parties, right? Like, the only thing you want in the world is for Jeff and Frankie to invite you over for fucking cheese plates.
Exactly.
That's all you want.
But they put the cute in charcuterie.
But they but Frankie made the charcuterie.
I would just rather have. Wait. Also, isn't Frankie's sexual orientation always something that's been we don't know throughout the whole show?
She's specifically gay. She's gay. Because that.
Well, in my headcanon, she's gay because she's too good for any straight man.
I agree with you. I still claim her for the bis. That is.
The bis are not the straights.
This is true. I claim her.
Also, Jeff is not straight.
Right.
Jeff's not straight.
Jeff Dean.
No one on this show is. Exactly.
Jeff Dean. The only member who sits at that table who might be fully straight is Pierce. And even that, I don't.
No, he's not straight.
No, he's not.
No.
I think trauma. Pierce in the 70s tried some stuff. I think a young Pierce Hawthorne tried some stuff. Hickey is asexual. And no one else is straight. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Shirley's
no
straight.
One else straight.
Shirley's straight.
No, Shirley ignores the part of herself that is not straight.
You don't think Shirley's straight?
I don't.
There's a moment in the show where Jeff says, "There's nothing about this group that means that somebody couldn't be another person's partner," and they all look around the table, and Shirley shares a glance with Britta that's not.
What episode is this? I need to watch this back.
It's the episode where I don't remember what they're arguing over, but it's when Jeff's like, I realize that this group isn't a family because there's nothing stopping from anybody in this group from getting with anybody else in this group. And then there's this 6-second moment as faces look around the table at each other. And that's when you know Shirley's got a...
It is in Jace's oft-forgotten episode, Romantic Expressionism.
No way.
Is it really in that episode?
It is. It is in the episode where Jeff and Britta try to convince Troy to get with Annie.
It's in the episode you can't remember.
Cannot ever. Once I'm reminded of it, I'm like, oh, yeah, the whole picnic thing. That's it.
Different
Might as well be Star Wars because it has no space in my brain.
Jace, that wasn't even the right episode.
God damn it! What?
I was going to let it go, but I saw Kev just waiting.
That wasn't even the right episode.
Wait till they finish. Okay, now. By the way, wrong episode. It is in. I believe Abed refers to them as being as incestuous as the cast of the Brady Bunch, right? And they all look around the table. It's a good bit. But yeah, no one who sits at that table is fully straight. Anyway, I'm trying to think of a straight. Is there a straight character in the show?
At Greendale, no.
Shirley is a straight character. She literally gets married to the same man that she broke up with. If that is not peak straight culture, I don't know what the fuck is.
Wait, is getting back together with an ex a straight exclusive? No.
When you break down jokes by logic, they're not funny anymore.
That actually checks out.
Sorry, for some reason this episode I've been coming after everything Jace says, and it's not intentional. I don't know why it's happening.
My ketchup vendetta, trying to tell me I'm fucking
Star Wars
wrong.
ketchup and straight relationships, just nuking everything.
You just went after everything
The
I have a
three
personal
S's.
vendetta against. Star Wars, straight people, and
For
ketchup.
what it's worth, Jace, it's nothing personal. I'm a dad, and I have to mediate every polarizing viewpoint.
That is
true.
fair. That is fair. That is fair. No, I have just it's more so a reference on a lot of just like toxic compulsive heteros. If you want to break it down on a mental
Yeah, and you will find no defense in this being for toxic.
Yeah, I mean, does that
None
mean
of
that
shit.
is that compulsive heterosexuality is just like a motherfucker? Does that mean that gay people don't get back with their exes? Yeah, they do it all the fucking time.
Come on,
messy
now.
or horny, right? But well, not all of us,
But
Shouts out to
remarrying your
literally
baby
the
daddy
idea
who
of
cheated
being,
on you with many women feels like straight culture.
Be forgiving a straight man for doing shitty things.
Forgiving a straight man is straight culture.
Forgiving a straight man, that's some straight shit. That is some competent nonsense.
What's funny is it's actually just church shit, but that doesn't disqualify it from being straight.
I don't. Without getting too far into it, because I could write a whole dissertation. I don't just necessarily distinguish church culture
and straight culture.
Sexuality.
You should. That was my point.
Of the relationship is just as much a religious. It's they're the sexual conquistadors. I mean, that's.
Ugh.
Yeah, exactly.
Ugh, God, what a terrible fucking. Ugh.
Yeah, Sexual Conquistadors. That's actually a great name for a punk band. I'm gonna steal that.
100%. Yeah.
There's so much negative. Oh
forgive me. It's the sexual missionaries. Who.
The missionary conquistadors.
The sexual missionaries. Anyway, I support Jeff Dean. I kind of like Jeff Britta to a certain degree. And I support Jeff Frankie. Anyway, shall we talk about Abed?
Yeah. We pair Abed with. This is a shipping podcast only.
Oh, that's true. Abed. Who is Abed's OTP? First of all,
I can't tell if Kev's stifling a vomit or just actually thinking. I can't tell if he's fucking stop.
No, we already know Abed's OTP.
His life mate,
agent.
Troy Barnes. Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, the FBI lady.
Yeah, the Secret Service agent.
No. Brie Larson.
Well,
They have the best chemistry, and Brie Larson's cute.
No, I think we see more of their chemistry, but I don't think it's better chemistry than it is with the Secret Service member. I think the Secret Service member is this they speak their own language. They communicate in a wildly. It's they were destined to never be together. It's that they can't
beautiful.
be together.
They
beautiful.
cannot. They're on opposite sides. I like Abed and the deaf student that he develops a one-episode relation, a sudden burst of compatibility with. I like that.
That describe Abed's relationships.
That's a Jeff quote. A sudden burst of compatibility with a woman we'll never see again. But I like Abed. I like that episode where Abed learns sign language to communicate with this student who is not plot important. It's just a thing he's doing while spoiling.
He's heard of spoil Game of Thrones.
Yeah, spoiling Game of Thrones. And that is a better one-episode love story than this show ever accomplishes with any of its seasons-long love stories. That is a better... Same thing with the Secret Service agent. That is a better romantic plot line than anyone else gets for the rest of the show. So anyway, if we must... Really I was speaking of Abed's plot in this episode rather than his ship.
Yes.
But... Because this is another phenomenal episode for Danny Pudi, and this is the kind of episode you can only do. Are. This is the best Abed episodes, which are episodes that can only exist because Abed is in the cast. Without Abed, there is no world where Community gets to a dreamatorium. his like cardboard tubes where he explains his brain, that the Dreamatorium is as much like him understanding his own brain and like interpreting that, because Abed has an undiagnosed like neurodivergence, like he it's something that can only happen here. And it's a great character episode where, like, ultimately he's going to put himself in the locker because it's kind of where he thinks he belongs, and needs that encouragement to get out of there.
He does end up in a locker, doesn't he? This fucking episode,
it's wild.
It's wild.
The thread where Troy describes himself in the Dreamatorium simulation is incredible. I'm gonna read it because I couldn't remember it all the way through, but it's incredible. And like, I might also be anyway. He says, "I love butt stuff. I hate spiders. I stole a pen from the bank. I cried during About a Boy, the soundtrack. I don't wash my hands before surgery. I can see why women find Clive Owen attractive to the point where I might just as well be attracted to him. I use comparisons to Hitler to win arguments on the internet at the drop of a hat. I know nothing about wine. I'm more turned on by women in pajamas than lingerie. I just want to know they feel comfortable. I didn't get Inception."
That is a sexy line. I'm sorry.
The pajama one? Absolutely.
The pajama one? That is a sexy line.
Oh, homie, my wife, God bless her, right now.
I knew you were gonna fucking do that.
I forget that happened again. So now everyone's quoting Borat again.
Yeah. It's gone back to being not funny, okay? Because it was funny in 2006. Then a few years passed where it wasn't funny. Then it was funny again in like an ironic way, and now it's not funny again because it's new. It's fresh. Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
Fresh. Oh, my wife, who's almost fully 9 months pregnant, is constantly like, I just feel and I'm like, dude, like sweatpants is my favorite mode. So like, you're fine, chill, it's good. I'm on Troy's side here. Sweatpants over lingerie. Don't get me wrong, both can look good.
Yeah, who doesn't like some lingerie? But like, I want them to know they're comfortable.
But literally, I just want to know they feel comfortable is exactly like why.
No, that's like literally
sweatpants
like...
and a messy bun and glasses at a coffee shop. Like, knock me out.
Is that a song lyric you just did?
Yes, I did.
No, Caleb just described me pre-COVID. Sweatpants, messy bun, glasses.
It's a good thing we live in separate cities, Chase.
You would have hit on me?
If you ever show up at Mochabee's in that.
Ooh.
I've been to Mochabee's in... Not exactly that, but probably something similar to that.
The odds are it was something close.
I was looking real gay in Mochabee's because, like, how else do you fucking roll up to Mochabee's?
Yeah, I'm sorry. You go to Mochabee's in St. Louis, you gotta look the gayest you can. Because that is a...
Can I tell y'all something?
Bookshop?
That is a gay anarchist coffee shop. Sorry, go ahead.
Is great. So having to go to Mochabee's as gay as you possibly can.
Yeah.
The first time I took my daughter to Mochabee's, I was with my best friend in the world, Christopher, who I love dearly. And, like, we sat and, like, hung out and drank coffee while he, like, pushed and rocked the stroller with his foot. And as we walked back to the car together, shoulder to shoulder, we were both like, yo, everyone thought we were together. And we were both like, yep. And that was it. It was really funny because it was like... We didn't think about it when we went, but when we left, we were like, that totally was a thing.
If you go to Mochabee's, it's weirder if you're straight. It's like, that is the outlier.
I'm gonna, I have heard stories from people that work at Mochabee's. That's what I'm gonna say the relationship to Mochabee's is. Who just, when straight people roll in, they kind of go, Are you lost?
Are you sure?
Oh,
Starbucks is over there.
That was my first couple visits. So like, you can be straight and be there, but like
you're totally find a vibe there.
The Venn diagram of straight people, and then like
most of them are also like anarchists
or polyamorous.
Yeah. Right, polyanarchist.
Polyanarchist, yeah.
Polyanarchist.
Polyanarchy, yeah.
Wait,
dude,
okay,
polyanarchy,
like Pollyanna and polyanarchist. I'm stealing that
Dude,
That's
Polyanarchy is
amazing
an
drag
amazing.
name.
It's an amazing band.
Polyanarchist?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a punk. I'm gonna make a punk electronic band called Polyanarchist.
Yo, I will help you with that. I'm not even joking.
Let's go.
Let's
Nine Inch Nails ain't got nothing on us. And my drum set's right here.
I see it. I'm jealous. I can't fit a drum set into my New York apartment. Well,
And,
I could. My neighbors would murder me.
Yeah, I was about to say, if you bring a drum set into a New York apartment, you deserve to be evicted. Like, I'm sorry. If you want to drum...
You don't need to apologize for saying
you
such a non-spicy take right there.
Yeah, if you want to drum, own land. If you don't own land, you cannot drum. I'm sorry.
Own land. Jesus
Or rent land from someone who owns land.
Or rent land, or rent a studio space or something. Like, there are options
land
here.
specifically made for drums
Or
to be
get an
there.
electric drum set and put on some headphones. Come on, y'all. Be creative.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, headphones. Anything's on the table.
Sorry.
Fucking Christ.
I hit a button on my soundboard.
That's okay. It worked. Anyway, good episode. I love the touch when they're doing the soap opera that they like do the soft lighting Vaseline lens on all the actors. I think that's an excellent touch. And this also seems like kind of a cost-saving episode. I know that sounds weird, but like we just use sets that already exist and then just pay for some like special effects when like a wireframe Abed jumps from person to person. This seems like another Pillows and Blankets cost-saving endeavor.
Yep.
It could be. I would be, it might be.
I'd believe it. We get the return of Senor Kevin's, a great Mexican restaurant. There are 2 uses of my name in this episode. Because Pierce also remembers the
Yeah.
Kevin, please come over for gay sex.
Why wouldn't you use Karen? It's gay sex, dummy. Then use great sex. And he's like, now I don't remember what I was.
Remember anything? Thanks.
Oh, it's so
and
good.
The
But that's
unbelievable
also
Dean
so real. Just
costume
like
in
that
this
whole
episode.
straight men are so gay sometimes. Let me
Yeah,
tell
straight
you.
men are really gay. And the incredible Duala Dean of Man costume. Great. The Dean's greatest outfit of many great outfits.
That's a claim. We should that should be our next ranking endeavor is rank all the Dean's outfits.
That could be a fun singular episode to just
like a
dive
bonus.
into.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We just do a full Dean. That would be I think a live stream where we do like a tier list.
We could call it a Dean dive into diva outfits. Shit, I tried to make the alliteration work all the way, but Dean dive instead of
Dean
deep
dive is in there. We'll workshop it.
We'll workshop it. We'll do it offline when we're not recording.
It's a deep
Policical,
Dean diva dive.
Ah.
Oh.
Boom.
Got it. I like it. All right, so we have come to the section.
What's that? I knew that voice.
That's Fozzie Bear.
I do fucking love Fozzie.
Love Fozzie Bear, one of the great Muppets. I saw you were wearing animal pajama bottoms.
I do have animal pants on. Animal is a spirit, is just a spiritual. I have a spiritual connection to animals. Is what I'm trying to say.
As a drummer, that's drum energy.
Well, just
you know what I mean?
woman. Yeah, I'm like, yes, that is me. Hello.
Yes,
hi.
indeed.
But in like a very different sense, right? Animals like being like, woman, and for me, I'm like, yes, I am woman.
Hello.
Sometimes.
Sometimes I am woman. Yes.
Why did that sound like Robin Williams?
The speed and timing of the incomparable Robin Williams. So now it's ranking time, as it is many times.
Ranking time.
Oh, Christ. I did,
I can't believe I've never done that.
when I was working at the comic book store, and it did
They
approach
did that every
closing.
day, didn't they?
I did that when I was in
You
charge of
did
the
that.
sound system, because it
fucking
made me
asshole.
laugh every time.
So you were fucking Andy Bernard
Sure.
trying to start a thing at work and then playing closing time when it's time to leave.
Listen, the folks who were closing at midnight on a Saturday with me, like, they would just, like, they would do that laugh where it's like, You know what I mean? And they'd shake their heads a little bit, but they were like not mad, but they were just like
mildly funny, and I can't get mad about it. I don't love it, but I also
it's not
don't
a laugh.
hate it.
It's like a heavy breath out of the nose, and in their head they're like, "Oh, Kev," and
yeah, exactly.
machinations.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Wait,
Also, the idea of closing a comic book shop at 11 or midnight on a Saturday in New York sounds so good to someone who lives in the Midwest, and I know is the worst for people.
It's the fucking worst when you're doing it. It sounds romantic, right?
It sounds like a super romanticized. I want to do that.
It
and
sounds
then I would do
dope.
it and be like, this sucks.
Yeah, it sucks when you do it, and you have to do it. You're not given a choice to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, working until midnight is never fun, even if you love where you are.
Correctamundo. Even if you love the employee discount, which I did.
Oh, Kevin, don't even. I literally dreamed of working at a comic book store just so I could get that good discount, because when I was in college, I realized very quickly that comic books add up very fast.
It's an expensive habit. You could have worse, but it's an expensive habit. Jace, when it's safe to do so, I'll loan you some of my vast comic book collection so you can read.
Love that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So.
But we'll work that out off microphone.
Yeah.
But
we'll do some spots. We'll trade some stuff.
Yeah, I love that. But the first end tag tonight, Abed's stand-up comedy.
Which one?
No,
it's where Abed does stand-up comedy. I don't know how else to fucking...
This one's actually really funny to me because he's only telling jokes that Troy gets.
Oh, yeah. Yes!
And it's such a good impression of bad 90s stand-up comedy with, like, the suit jacket. And I was like, you ever notice how I brush my teeth like this? And Troy brushes his teeth like
this.
Oh, my God. I don't know why that always kills me. Bad 90s, like, white people walk to the store like this is so horribly. Like, it's all bad.
Troy going, it's true, I do that.
I do that. Oh, man. This is a good one for me. This one's up there for me. This is a good one.
This is up there for sure.
All right, let's take a look. All right, is this a top 10? Is this better than Carol of the Changs? I think so. I like this one.
I think Carol of the Changs is fun, but I like this one more than Carol of the Changs.
Although I do play Carol of the Changs once a year, I do not go out of my way to find this one. It's just very funny every time it comes on.
Sure.
Right, but that's what you go out of your way to find one because it's appropriate to something that happens in real life.
Yeah, it's like seasonal.
No, I listen to Carol of the Changs like a monthly.
That's a bop. It's on the workout playlist.
I hate that so much.
I flex to the pops.
Yeah. It's right between X gonna give it to ya and like
and
poker face. Yeah, exactly. And Pentatonics or fucking or it's like it's right between like X gonna give it to you and like Coheed and Cambria. Like
I was gonna say the time warp.
Shut the fuck up, Kev. That's so accurate. Fuck you.
No, that's everyone's workout playlist. What are you talking about?
I'm such a big fan of Coheed, though.
I know. I knew that. I knew that. Yeah, I knew that.
Okay. I've seen them. I've seen them twice in the same week, more than once.
Damn.
No way.
Yeah.
Is this better than Pledge Drive from just last week? Our number 9.
Which one's the Pledge Drive?
The one where they do a pledge drive.
The one that you campaigned for being in the top 10.
Oh my God, yes, Pledge Drive. Yo, I just don't remember the names that we associate with. There's too many. My brain don't do good things.
I'm sorry, Jace. We're being really mean to you this episode.
I can't remember anything.
This episode, Jace has absolutely gotten dragged through the cold.
The boys are being mean to me.
The cis. I'm being attacked by the cis.
Revenge of the Sis. Okay, so Anakin Skywalker attacks Jace Windu in Revenge of the Sis.
Oh, fuck me, dude.
Revenge of the Sis. I hate it.
So this
needs to be number 9, I think.
Not as good as Pledge Drive. Yeah, because I was like, this is not better than like Cartoon Tunnel at number 5. Like we're not there.
Well, I think this is a very clear new number 10. I think it's like right in that same vibe with Pledge Drive. Were you saying 9 or 10?
I said 9, but like Pledge Drive or this could be like interchangeable.
10.
I would put
I'm
Pledge
gonna
Drive
go with that. I'm gonna say that the Pledge Drive is the new 9, just because this one makes me laugh a little more than Pledge Drive, but Pledge Drive has got that like, this is awesome kind of thing for me. I don't really know how else to describe it.
So Pledge Drive is staying 9 for you, and Stand Up is 10. Is that what you're saying?
No, Stand Up is the new Pledge Drive is 10.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Okay, yeah.
Abed, Stand Up.
Cartoon Tunnel, man, fuck. Every time I think about that one, I'm like, I'm deeply affected and also really, really, really cracking up. Because it's funny as fuck, but also like, god damn, it's dark.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
I'm done with it.
Fucking beautiful. And then the next end tag, it's another Troy and Abed in the morning. They're always nice. This is with Annie, and they're decorating the apartment.
Oh, this one's cute, but I wouldn't put it too far up.
No.
This isn't the one where Annie's by herself, is it?
No. This is the one where they're like using, it's like design tips, like use a throw thing to cover up a Kool-Aid stain. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
And then she rearranges Troy and Abed's living situation, and Abed freaks out. And Troy gets out the technical difficulties picture that he made.
That's this one?
Right.
Yeah, it's this one. This is pretty cute. That's
is
pretty good. I like this one.
That's good.
All right, is this top 20 versus Kick Puncher, where they make their own Kick Puncher?
I think this might be a little funnier than Kick Puncher.
I think it's the new 19. Because it is not funnier than Fake Fire Alarm to me.
It is not.
Because Fake Fire Alarm is fucking incredible.
That's a great one.
So it goes Pierce,
cancel
Poop
school,
Rap,
return
Troy and
everything.
Abed, Dine and Dash, Fake Fire Alarm, and then Troy and Abed with Annie.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
That's great. New number 19. Troy and Abed and Annie in the morning. At night. I can't. This one, what do I call this one? Troy and Abed and Annie.
It's
Troy and Abed and Annie
in the morning
at night.
Parentheses,
hip tips.
redecorate. Because there's several Troy and Abed and Annie in the morning, so that's my code word.
It's the hashtag hip tips. It's like a Queer Eye hip tips.
Hip tips? Okay, sure.
Bumper.
I've actually finally watched some of that new Queer Eye show.
Kind of fun.
It's fun and nice. It's nice.
Yeah.
The black dude is the
Karama?
hottest person I've ever seen in my entire life.
Really? I'm not even going to lie to you. Tan does it for me.
Tan,
Weird. We all have different Queer Eye.
Who's yours,
stands.
Jonathan?
That's amazing.
Jonathan?
No, mine's
Jonathan?
Anthony because food. Duh.
You like Anthony?
Sure,
Yes.
sure.
I want to make food with Anthony and watch movies that both of us are going to wax too philosophically about.
Sure. I like that. Jonathan's a close runner-up for me. I think he's...
Jonathan, I want to be my best fucking friend.
100%.
My wife is like, can I order a Johnny? No, you can't. But
Nah, you can't.
But like Tan, I want to just like buy me sweaters and hold me.
See, I couldn't hang out with Tan because he'd criticize my.
No, he'd be so supportive and he'd make you feel so good in your skin.
So much.
He'd
No,
make
he
fun
would help
of
you find good
but
clothing
he would
and
help
make you feel amazing
Yeah.
in your outfit. No, he.
Sure.
I love Tan.
Sure.
It would be
I love Tan.
constructive.
What a fox!
criticism.
What a fox!
Yeah, what a hunk.
Silver fire.
Alright. So, episode rankings. Origins of Vampire Mythology. This one's tough for me.
Tough one. It's simultaneously good and just kind of like also in the it's okay. It's very good, but also in the scope and scale of this entire run, it's like
It's fine.
it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the better meh episodes. for me.
Right.
Like I'll
But also,
never
all of the
skip
Met
it.
Episodes of Community are like good episodes of television.
Right.
Yeah.
It's for Community.
Well, like,
it's like,
yeah.
what are you putting it up
Like
against?
them
right?
faking a carnival on the phone is so funny, and Annie like it's all good. Very funny. Anytime they let Allison not say words and just like make sounds is very funny.
Doopy doopy doop doop sex.
Correctamundo.
Oh my gosh. I didn't realize, I don't know how many episodes you've ended with that sound clip, Kevin, but I was listening back to the episode that we did with Jesse, with Kat, with my partner, and just like here realizing that that's how that episode ended, we both just started cracking up.
Yeah, I've added that since we covered that episode. So that's now a permanent part of the
That would make sense why I didn't realize it, because I don't think I was there for that episode.
Yeah. So the episodes now end with the great Ludwig Göransson out. And then it's a clip from Glee where they sing "That was quite a show, very entertaining." And then it's a clip from Arrested Development where Ron Howard says, "Please tell your friends about this show." And then it's boopy doopy boop doop sex.
How many fucking tags do you have? You have a tag bit, then you tag on interviews with other people, then you add like 5 other tags. I love it. I love it so much.
I'm a busy man. So okay,
get a tag, and you get a tag, and you get a tag.
Does this crack our top 30, our number 30 Messianic myths and ancient peoples? I think I prefer this one to that one.
Which one is this? This one's not Abed, is it?
That one is Abed. Abed
oh,
Jesus.
It is?
I like Abed more.
Okay.
But not much more.
Not much more.
That one just has more truck with me because like I grew up religious.
Sure.
So
if you grow up religious or go to film school, that's a great episode. Okay, because now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, do I like this episode more than Beginner Pottery? No, I do not. No, I like Beginner Pottery.
Yeah, that's where I was looking too.
Yeah, so
I like this episode maybe more than English as a second language.
Yeah, what happens in English as a second language?
They find out that Chang's credentials are faked.
Yeah.
I would put this one just above that one, yeah.
I think so. Okay, ooh. So applied anthropology, the Shirley Gives Birth episode is right above that.
I would keep that above it.
You keep that above? Okay, sounds good.
Just because if for nothing less than just Abed in the background, building up to that.
Oh, sure. S3E15. I had to look up what episode number it is. Origins of Vampire Mythology. I'm not a robot.
What?
Yeah, what?
I'm not a robot.
You're not?
Kevin, how else would you describe your incredible scope of random knowledge?
Yeah, well, I'm a robot that was not programmed especially well. Okay, let's
as most robots in Hollywood are.
Yeah, Brit-A-Bot programmed badly. Virtual systems analysis, 3 Matorium episode. So this one, let's start with critical film studies, which is the My Dinner with Andre episode, because they're at a similar point in the season. Mm-hmm. They're also an Abed-centric character episode where Abed and another character sort of ping back and forth to get at a deeper meaning for both of them. But this time it's tough. Annie. I like that the show is at a point where it doesn't have to be Jeff. It can be Annie or anyone else. I like that a lot.
It's tough because critical film studies has the iconic "I poop my pants," which fucks me up every time I see it.
What? Wait, what?
When Abed's talking about being on the set
of Cougar Town.
Oh yeah. And he panics and hits the ground and poops his pants. And Jeff just like wide-eyed, like eyebrows up, like, what? And then later he's like, "Did you poop your pants?" He's like, "That shouldn't be important."
Yeah, I would say I like this episode a lot more on the whole, and I think it's a little bit more successful at the same aims as the My Dinner with Andre episode.
Yeah, I was gonna say like that episode has its moments that are great. But this episode has more of those moments.
Indeed. All right, so we're moving
my scholarly take
up the list, and I love the daringness of this episode, even though I don't think it's gonna crack too much higher than we're already at.
Which one is Studies in Modern Movement again? I do this for literally every episode.
Hashtag Annie's Move. Annie's Move.
Right.
Drinking human blood.
This is close. This is around there. I'm not sure if I like it more or less than that episode.
This is close. I think I'm gonna give Dreamatorium an edge. I think I'm gonna just sheer.
I'm down with that.
Dynamism of what they're trying to pull off here.
Yeah,
and that
sheer
it makes,
audacity.
Yeah, and that it makes any sense at all. That it makes any sense at all, I think is worthy of commendation.
It's impressive.
So let's do the plug thing, so we can do the sleep thing. Thank you.
I so hate you all.
Yeah, I'm sorry. My big plug this week, as with last week, my play Scooby-Doo and the Manson Family Murders you're able to watch that on my YouTube channel forever. I really appreciate all the support we've gotten so far. Over 250 people have watched it, which I know is small potatoes in YouTube terms, but feels pretty significant to me. And I appreciate that. And I want to see how far we can take this. So I appreciate that. And also right now I am rereading the Matt Fraction David Aja Hawkeye run for like the 10th time, and it's still fucking excellent. So listeners, if you are at all interested in that Hawkeye Disney Plus show, go read these 25 comic book issues, because it'll make you poop your dang pants from how good it is.
Woo! Yeah, that's definitely the next on my list for reading. I've been reading a lot of comics on our sponsored but not sponsored content from, was it Marvel Unlimited? Is that what their freaking app is?
Yeah, Marvel Unlimited.
Pay us money already. We give you so much advertising.
Come on.
I don't have too much to plug. I do want to point out, though, because of the delayed release schedule from when we record to when these are published, I do want to make it known that my take on The Prom being single-handedly ruined by James Corden was shortly after, followed up with several articles published by Variety and other sources saying exactly that, and I just want it to be known in the universe that I said it before any of those articles came out. I've actually been saying it for months, and I don't want...
where Jace has been shouted down on every point that they've made.
You
make a point now of being like, I am right about the things
I'm right about this. I was right about this a month ago. I've just been confirmed. It's not even out on Netflix yet, but I don't want anybody with the whole in before bullshit. I said it first. I meant it, and it's apparently true.
Good idea, hipster.
The whole casting of The Prom pissed me off because it was like you have an entire cast. They've been working with it for 7 fucking years. And then Ryan Murphy goes, let's just change the entire cast. And I would have been fine if they recast that role with someone that was actually gay, because I'm pretty sure the guy that played it on Broadway wasn't gay. But instead they went with fucking James Corden, which was offensive. If you're trans, I love you. If you're cis, I love you too. But if you're trans, I love you. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. That's what I gotta say.
I'm trying to, I was like, yes, I know what you mean. Knowing full well I don't, but that's kind of the point. Anyway, I don't know what to shout out, really. I mean, the end of the year's wrapping up, which is a big deal for me and doing game shit, because I hope it hasn't been obvious, but that means that I've played games basically nonstop until the end of the year, and I've been playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla this whole time, trying to get through it before Cyberpunk comes out on Thursday. Whew. So it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. But I'm trying.
It's not going to happen.
I'm at like 70 hours into Assassin's Creed, and I've easily got 40 more. And then Cyberpunk comes out on tomorrow night, Thursday. I might push it to Friday.
You do 40 hours in a day, right?
Come on.
Yes, because I am the Lord of Time. But I guess
is that you?
I guess what my biggest shout out would be, or like maybe not a shout out, but more just a like, hey, let's pay attention to this. There's a lot of crunch that happens at the end of the year for people that are in entertainment or in criticizing entertainment.
The entertainment industry.
So like
the critical sphere, like the commentary sphere, yeah.
Yeah, Cyberpunk is coming out on Thursday, and like that game is full of bugs. And that studio pushed twice. Yeah. And that doesn't, and it released full of bugs, which should be a clear indication that when that game got delayed, it did not mean it was easier for the people working on it. It meant that they just had shitty conditions for 9 more months. So I don't know. It's kind of like a thing that I've been pushing with my content with Nerdy Bits as well. But like, just know that like the holidays are stressful, and for a lot of people think that stress comes from like just interacting with a lot of family. Which, if you're doing that this year, fuck you, stay home. But also, like it's not just that. It's like people have to work during the holidays, and that's not always, most times worse than hanging out with your families. I hope that's the worst part of your holidays, because if your family's worse than working GameStop retail on Black Friday, then fuck. I say that knowing full well my family has been worse than Black Friday at GameStop. But yeah, just know that like if you're a nerd and you like reading about games or playing games, that literally everything you read or play didn't come without tremendous amounts of sacrifice.
Yep. And remember that a way to show your family love this holiday season is to not get them sick by traveling to them when it is not safe to do so. Remember that is a way that you can show your family love if you're worried about that. For everyone.
Oh my gosh! Also, wait, real quick. I know I just dawned on me that this is definitely gonna be released after this coming Friday. Happy Hanukkah, listeners!
Happy Hanukkah, listeners!
Oh, yes.
I don't know what night it is of Hanukkah, because I don't know what day this is being released. But Happy Hanukkah!
Yeah. Happy Hanukkah. And if you're listening to this on the day it is released, sometime this evening on my YouTube channel, we'll be doing a live stream, a first playthrough of my community tabletop RPG. So youtube.com/Kevin Lanigan. You can check out that. And we will be back. We're nearing our winter break, but we'll be back.
Wait, is this coming out on Thursday?
Yeah, next Thursday.
Oh, then it's not Hanukkah yet. Never mind.
Oh, it'll be 2 days. It'll be 2 days past my birthday.
Happy Hanukkah in advance and happy birthday, both in advance and in the past.
When we record next time, it will be my birthday. A week from today.
Wow, we both our birthdays were Tuesday record days this year.
Yep.
That's interesting.
And then I'll have a baby soon, and that's not something I'm prepared for yet.
Oh, you can do it. You can do it, Papa. And whenever that
has to do it. That's all.
Well, that's fair. That's fair.
Deal with it.
I meant caring for the child,
Thank you.
not
Okay.
not expelling the child.
Yes.
But that too. Good luck to your wife on that.
That too.
Oh
that
my
too.
God.
Good luck to all involved, all parties. Wish them the best. And we'll be back next week with a beloved Law and Order episode and the first part of a two-parter. Will we cover the second part before or after Caleb's baby? Who can say?
Who will know?
Who will know? So after that, we'll either be covering more Community or The Witcher. Who can say? But until next week, pop, pop.
Pop. Do-do-do. 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 Do-do-do.
Chang.
Sorry.
I ruined it.
Lord have mercy.
This has been a Talkback Podcast.
That was quite a show, very entertaining.
Please tell your friends about this show.
Boop.